Venezuela, a country of stunning beauty and grace. It is a land teeming with life and natural wonders. Boasting the highest waterfalls in the world, Venezuela is a country of diverse topography. From the snow-capped mountains of the Andes to the jungles of the Amazon, Venezuela has left an impression on its visitors throughout the ages. Tierra de Gracia, land of grace, was the name Christopher Columbus gave to the shores of the Gulf of Paria, which he discovered on his third voyage to the New World in 1498. Noting the comeliness of the native inhabitants, their unclothed bodies adorned with pearls, along with a great volume of fresh water pouring into the Gulf, Columbus surmised that he was near the site of the Garden of Eden. On a follow-up expedition a year later, in 1499, an interesting discovery was made. On this voyage, commanded by the Spaniard Alonso de Ojeda, they sailed west from the Gulf of Paria to Lake Maracaibo. There they discovered that the native Indians lived above the shallow water in thatched huts built on stilts. Settlements built on stilts suggested Italian Venice to Ojeda, who named the country Venezuela, or Little Venice. Today, Venezuela is one of Latin America's 7th largest countries with over 19 million inhabitants. As a world-leading exporter in oil, Venezuela's economy is dominated by petroleum production. It is one of the wealthiest countries in Latin America, although the affluence exists with poverty in striking contrast. Especially in Caracas, the capital and principal metropolitan area. But despite the contrast and constant change Venezuela has undergone since the time of Columbus, it is a country that has remained rich in religious tradition. It has been a land graced with fervent devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary, with manifestations of her loving presence visible throughout the ages. One of the most popular and venerated shrines in Venezuela is Our Lady of Coromoto, located in Guanare. It was here on September 8, 1652, that Our Lady appeared to the chief of the Coromoto Indian tribe in his hut, after he angrily refused to attend the classes of catechism and prayer offered by the Spanish. Our Lady urged him to go to the Spaniards and receive the sacrament of baptism. But filled with anger and fear, the chief threw his spear at her. The Indian women who were also present during the apparition described the vision as being completely surrounded with light as brilliant as the sun, but which did not hurt their eyes. Our Lady appeared to the chief several times, and he responded the same way and always with the same answer, by throwing things at her and telling her to disappear. Our Lady's image appeared in one of the artifacts he threw at her. And it is this image that is most venerated in Guanare today. One day, the chief was bitten by a poisonous snake, and feeling death creeping near, he asked to be baptized and urged his fellow tribesmen to receive the sacrament of baptism and to embrace the Catholic faith. The chief died baptized, and soon these events were heard in all of Venezuela, where Catholicism grew in a gigantic and fervent movement. Today, Catholicism remains the national religion of Venezuela, with over 96% of the population Catholic. Over the course of the years to follow, Our Lady would continue to manifest visible signs of her presence among the people, reminding them of her role as mother and protectress of the faith. It is in Venezuela, once again, that the Blessed Mother has chosen to make her presence known. The place, Finca Betania, a small farm located within the parish of Our Lady of the Holy Rosary in the province of Miranda. It is here that a fascinating occurrence is taking place. It has been reported that the Mother of Jesus, the Blessed Virgin Mary, has been making repeated visitations with an urgent message for mankind. Unlike many reported apparitions in which only a few chosen people see Our Lady, thousands of people here in Betania claim to have seen her. People of all faiths, classes, and occupations have witnessed the apparition. She appears suddenly, bathed in light, accompanied by the sweet perfume of roses and other phenomena. People report seeing the apparition without experiencing a trance or ecstasy.
Her hair is going up. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's real big.
Going up?
Yeah, she's big. She's just standing there.
The Virgin does not appear in a consistent fashion. Various witnesses claim she resembles Our Lady of Lourdes with a blue sash.
Allá, mira.
Abajo, allá abajo. Ay, sí se ve clarito.
Others have seen her resembling the image on the miraculous medal, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, or Our Lady of Sorrows. The events in Betania, Venezuela are extraordinary. The apparitions continue to be reported. This, however, is not the first time that masses of people have claimed to witness the visible presence of the Blessed Mother in an apparition. In 1968, in Zaytun, Egypt, Our Lady appeared as a radiant light atop St. Mary's Coptic Orthodox Church. People of all classes, occupations, and religions reported seeing a woman surrounded by a multitude of color and light. She appeared in different forms and postures, with her appearance always being public and witnessed by all people present, believers and unbelievers. The apparitions continued for over 2 years, occurring 2 or 3 times each week, with her visits lasting from a few minutes to as long as 8 hours. An estimated 250,000 people witnessed these apparitions, which were often accompanied by miracles and healings. Today in Ukraine, a similar phenomenon is being reported. On April 26, 1987, on the exact day and hour of the anniversary of the Chernobyl accident, a young schoolgirl saw the Blessed Virgin Mary on the balcony of a church. News of this appearance quickly spread. Soon, masses of people were gathering to witness Our Lady's appearance above the dome. Today, word of her appearance at open field shrines in Ukraine have reached the world, and unconfirmed reports indicate that eyewitnesses number in the thousands. Why are so many people reporting appearances of the Blessed Mother? And why now? Is she making her presence known in Betania? Father René Laurentin, a world-renowned author and Mariologist, has traveled throughout the world investigating many of these reported events. He believes the multitude of apparitions are an urgent call to a world headed for self-destruction.
There are very serious and grave situations in the world today, so there are many reasons for the Virgin to appear and alert us. She speaks globally of moral risks, of liberal sexual immorality and materialism. The world has rejected God, and it is quietly and patiently abandoning itself to sin. It is like we are sitting on a branch and cutting ourselves off. So now we are experiencing the consequences. The world is destroying itself by the consequences of sin, and we cannot draw ourselves out of it by ourselves. So, the Virgin is calling us to return to the essentials. She asks for prayer and conversion, telling us that God exists and that we must turn back to God. It is only there that we will find our liberty and freedom.
Unlike Zaitun and Ukraine, Our Lady's appearances in Betania are very different. Today, even though thousands claim to have seen the Blessed Virgin in Betania, she has chosen one special soul to communicate her messages. Maria Esperanza Medrano de Bianchini is the principal visionary to receive messages from the Blessed Mother. As a devoted wife and mother, Maria Esperanza has been blessed with many mystical graces. Hailed by many as one of the most incredible mystics of our time, she has often been compared to the famous Italian mystic and stigmatist Padre Pio. Some of the many charisms Maria is reported to be gifted with are the ability to read souls, bilocation, transfiguration, levitation, and the stigmata, which she receives every Good Friday. She, like the alleged visionaries in Garabandal, Spain, has been witnessed mystically receiving communion hosts on her tongue. She has also been blessed with the perfume-like odor of sanctity, that of sweet-smelling roses that are said to surround her, and many claim she possesses the gift of healing. Dr. Luis Gutierrez Burgos, a military doctor and surgeon, has been present with Maria Esperanza and has witnessed a number of these manifestations. He has performed thorough medical examinations on her before, during, and after many of these experiences. He refers to them simply as medical mysteries.
I am not the only one to have witnessed these manifestations. Many others have as well, such as other doctors, family, friends, and many professional people who don't tend to nonsense. What I have witnessed has defied all scientific explanation. After a thorough examination of Maria, I am convinced these events cannot be faked. The only explanation that I can offer is that something more powerful than the laws of nature, something of a divine origin, has occurred.
Throughout the history of the Catholic Church, mystics have been viewed with great reserve, even skepticism. The Catholic Church has never conferred its stamp of approval on an alleged mystic during his or her lifetime. Maria, like others before her, must stand the test of time. Father René Laurentin has traveled to Betania upon the request of the local bishop. After spending time there examining the facts, he is favorably disposed to Betania. He has also personally spent time with the Bianchinis and is impressed by the way Maria has balanced her life.
I know her very well, and she is a person who has truly given everything to Christ. She is a grandmother of a family that is exemplary of Christian life. Maria Esperanza radiates prayer and perfected prayer, so it can't be channeling. She is sensitive and very hopeful. She is excited and full of love. The fruit of Maria Esperanza is her family. She is a devoted wife and mother who has been able to maintain a great balance in her life. Between the great demand placed on her by others and finding time to maintain her family, Maria has successfully been able to not only fulfill her daily duty, but to nurture her spirituality. She has a profound spiritual life, supported by fervent prayer. She always makes prayer a priority, sometimes praying all night. I am very impressed and admire deeply her conviction.
Throughout her life, Maria has experienced private apparitions of the Blessed Mother, Jesus, and various saints. Her first apparition was of Saint Therese of Lisieux, the Little Flower, when she was only 5 years old. 7 short years later, at age 12, she experienced her first visit from the Blessed Mother during a serious illness of bronchial pneumonia and, despite a pessimistic prognosis, made a miraculous recovery. At age 14, Our Lady appeared to her again and told her for the first time about Betania. Since her youth, Maria felt inclined to spiritual things, such as frequency of the sacraments and practices of charity. Taken by these inclinations, she soon aspired to religious life, and in 1954 entered the convent of the Franciscan Sisters in Mérida. There, on October 3, 1954, St. Therese appeared to her for the second time and encouraged her to follow the vocation of a spouse and mother. She told Maria,
"This is not your vocation. You ought not become a nun, but work out your salvation as a wife and a mother. This is your way to sanctification and bearing witness in the world."
On November 1st, Maria Esperanza met her future husband in Rome in circumstances which had been indicated in the apparition. She married on December 8, 1956 in Rome, in the chapel where Pope Pius IX declared the dogma of the Immaculate Conception. The Bianchinis would, in the years to come, have 6 daughters and 1 son, all of which today are married. On March 25, 1976, Maria experienced her first apparition of the Blessed Mother in Betania, as foretold by Our Lady in an earlier apparition. Maria was given a mission of kindness and fidelity, service and sacrifice with the following assurance.
I will be your refuge. My daughter, I have given you my heart. I give it to you and will always give it.
The Virgin was bathed in light and said to Maria Esperanza,
I am the reconciler of all people. My child, I am giving you a piece of heaven. Lourdes, Betania in Venezuela. It is a place for everyone, not only Catholics. It is for all, because there should be no class distinctions of nations and religions. This is your mother, who gives herself as in Lourdes, Fatima, El Pilar in Saragossa, Grenare, and as in so many other places where I still offer myself.
For the next 2 years, Maria would continue to experience private visitations with Our Lady. The Holy Office in Rome was first alerted to these events in 1978. It was on March 25, 1984, that the apparitions underwent a dramatic transformation, changing from private apparitions to public. It was during the Feast of the Annunciation and the celebration of the 8th anniversary of the first apparition in Betania that a tremendous set of events were about to unfold. After celebrating Mass on that beautiful, sunny afternoon, those present retired to the compound below. While they were relaxing and enjoying their picnic lunches, some children were playing by the water of the cascade, when suddenly a woman of stunning beauty appeared above the waterfall. She held a rosary in her hand and was bathed in light. Her appearance lasted a very short time. Overwhelmed by what they had just witnessed, the children quickly ran to tell the others.
We were in the house, in the country house, when all of a sudden we heard some children calling us. They said they were starting to see the Virgin. The Virgin, they said. It surprised us. We thought that it had to be a fake apparition or actually just child's play.
Excited by the news, yet skeptical, the crowd hurried to the place of the apparition.
And so, we went toward where they were, and you could actually see a white figure at the edge of the jungle where the trees were. I could actually see a figure, a feminine figure, all in white, which had taken shape by the edge of the jungle. Now, I know a little bit about optical phenomena and solar effects, and I was a little skeptical. I was trying to see if it was just the rays of the sun causing this image, but no, it was a white figure there by the trees.
It just paralyzed us. It was so impressive. She emanated an incredible light, and it was very impressive to see this person. It was like an image made out of marble, and even though we were seeing this through the leaves and through the trees did not interfere with this image. You could see her perfectly. And then the Blessed Mother suddenly turned slightly, and she began to ascend. It looked as if this marble was turning into dust. It was as if this solid form was turning into dust and she was disappearing. In that moment, it was as if there was no wind and no time. Then suddenly, she disappeared, and an incredibly strong breeze came over us, and many of the people fell to their knees.
On that day, 108 people were present. All of them saw Our Lady. She appeared in many different ways under many different titles, and was witnessed by people of all walks of life, young, old, religious, and laity.
It was as if I had entered into another world. There was such silence, a great silence. I couldn't think. Is it true? Is it alive? It was just something that was just there. She was dressed completely in white. She seemed almost like a nun. And she had her hands outstretched as if in an invitation, as if to say, "Come to me." I didn't see her face, but I saw her hands and her feet, which looked tan. Her dress was brilliant, as if though covered with diamonds. And the same wind that was blowing through our hair and clothes was blowing through her hair and her clothes. Her dress was moving in the breeze. It was just such a beautiful, brilliant white. A white I had never seen before. Very beautiful. And at that time, I turned around. I was looking at everybody. And many people were crying, but everybody was so incredibly silent, as if though paralyzed. And even though their faces were serious, their tears were rolling down their cheeks very spontaneously. It was such a joyful moment, and what I felt was, it was like a silence within me. It was such a profound feeling, something very, very deep. It was as if though she penetrated me, and I felt such a peace. A peace so deep that you felt as if you were in heaven. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful, I cannot explain it. It is such a warmth that you feel inside. There are simply no words to explain it.
Our Lady made 7 appearances that day in Betania, with her visits lasting from 10 to 15 minutes. The last apparition lasted half an hour. On that day, she gave the following message.
My children, I am Mary, Virgin and Mother, reconciler of people and nations. I come with my Son in my arms to reconcile you. O sublime hope for all, pray the Rosary. My children, you have seen and felt me, experiencing the reality that I live among you. Continue faithful to my call, and let us walk the way together, for I will guide you.
From March 1984, the crowds grew larger, and the apparitions became more numerous, particularly on Saturdays, Sundays, and feast days. On November 21st, 1987, Monsignor Pio Bello Ricardo, Bishop of the Diocese of Los Teques, after a thorough investigation, issued a pastoral letter approving the apparitions, thus making this the fourth apparition site to be approved within the 20th century.
Los efectos que se producen en Finca Betania todos han sido buenos.
As far as I can see, all the results from Betania are positive. People who have abandoned all religious practices for many years recover their faith in Betania. People who are in danger of losing their lives and their souls find themselves again in Betania. So the effects of the apparition in Betania are perfectly agreeable with the Church's criteria for favorably judging apparitions. The apparitions here in Betania have been approved in their authenticity. My declaration is that these apparitions are authentic and supernatural and are of divine origin.
In his pastoral letter to Rome, he states,
"The apparitions here have engendered a search for God and for interior life, openness and obedience to the Church, solidarity and fraternal sharing. The place where these apparitions have occurred be considered as sacred, and that it be considered as a cause of pilgrimage and a place of prayer, reflection and worship in which liturgical acts can be carried out, especially the Mass and the administration of the sacraments, always following the laws of the Church and the norms of the Diocesan Pastoral Council."
Since the approval of these apparitions of March 25, 1984, it has been reported that the alleged apparitions continue, and many people claim to see Our Lady in Betania. Although no formal commission has been appointed by the bishop to investigate the alleged recent apparitions, the bishop remains favorable and continues to closely monitor the events in Betania. He has welcomed the Virgin's request for construction of a church in honor of Our Lady, the reconciler of peoples. Known and venerated in Betania as reconciler of people and nations, Our Lady stresses the great importance of reconciliation with God, family, and neighbor. Her messages represent a call to restoration and deeper penetration of the Catholic faith, especially urgent in a world in which so many deny God. Encouragement for more frequent reception of the sacraments, especially reconciliation and the Eucharist. They represent a call for solidarity, responding to charity and social justice, especially with the poor, the forgotten, the sick, and the needy. They have consistently evoked an urgent call for penance and an increase in prayer, especially the Rosary. A need to pray for the Church, priests, the conversion of sinners, and for peace in the world, as well as for the impending risks that threaten humanity.
Nos está llamando, nos exhorta.
Our Blessed Mother is calling us, exhorting us to pray the Rosary. The Rosary, it is that which can placate the thirst of revenge in men, in those who want to, who try to destroy their brothers through their desire to have material riches. They believe they can obtain everything through their weapons and armaments. But it is only the Rosary that is going to achieve this. The ones who have this will have success. Our Heavenly Mother wants us to believe in God. She begs that we pray the 15 mysteries of the Rosary daily. It is this which is going to detain Satan.
The fruits of the apparitions are positive, with renewed spiritual fervor and conversion taking place. People of all ages and occupations have experienced a profound change in their lives. Carolina Fuenmayor, producer and journalist of one of Venezuela's largest television stations, like so many others, aspired for success and recognition. While working on a television program about the events occurring in Betania, Carolina found herself experiencing a conversion in her life that would cause her to reevaluate her priorities.
Pero después que fui, empezaron todos estos cambios en mi vida.
There has been quite a radical change in my life, and even in the people who surround me. What was once important to me, being famous and having a good career, is now no longer important. I realize that the only thing that matters to me is living in peace. It is no longer television or anything like that. It is to live in peace with my family and to love my neighbor. Maria Esperanza says that humility is the bridge which leads us to heaven, that we have to be very humble in life and have respect and love for God. We must have a holy love for God and not offend Him. Therefore, all of our actions need to be correct. Through Maria Esperanza, the Virgin has begun to purify aspects of my life. And then, of course, my life has changed. I began to need and to love prayer. I attend Mass as often as I can. I realize the importance of the Eucharist, receiving God as often as I can during the week, not only on Sundays. This has all been quite a radical change. But after I went to Betania, I realized the truth and the importance of living the gospel message and loving my neighbor as myself. It is important that everyone know this. The message of Betania is very important for our times.
The strong presence of religious and the faithful is a positive result of the apparitions. Father Oti Osa Aristazabal, a local priest responsible for providing the pastoral services at Betania, has experienced a deepening of his own faith. He believes that the greatest fruit of the apparitions is the abundance of grace and conversion people here experience.
I am particularly impressed by the crowds, the intensity of the prayer, the healings and the remarkable fruit of conversion, which are all present at Finca Betania. People who have never prayed now regularly recite the Rosary. Those who never went to church now come regularly and avail the sacraments of penance and the Eucharist. The apparitions have brought them closer to God and have renewed their Christian life.
In addition to the profound spiritual conversion taking place, incredible phenomena has deepened the faith of many. Phenomena of various sorts is being reported. People have testified seeing a mysterious fog that seems to come out from the trees on the hill, intense light that would brighten the hill, and at times a profusion of flowers that would cover it, especially roses. Sounds of hymns from an invisible choir are often heard. Still others have reported strange lights and movements in the sun. The water from the cascade at times acquires the perfume of roses, while others claim to have received mysterious rose petals from the heavens. Like many other apparitional sites, strong evidence of miraculous photophenomena abound. It is believed, however, that of all the signs, the most powerful and significant manifestation of God's love was given on December 8, 1991, on the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. During the celebration of the Holy Mass, Father Otiosa Aristazabal, the main celebrant of the Vigil Mass, had just consecrated a host when an incredible miracle occurred.
I consecrated the host and I broke it into 4 parts. I ate one of the parts and left the other 3 parts of the host on the plate after I gave grace. When I looked into the plate, I could not believe my eyes when I saw a red stain forming on the host, and from it a red substance was beginning to emanate, similar to the way in which blood spurts out from a puncture. After the consecration, I took the host and protected it in the sanctuary. The next day at 6 in the morning, I observed the host, and I found that the blood was still fresh, and that it had trickled down. And that is what has appeared on the photograph. After that, I put the host in the monstrance, as you can see here, so the faithful ones could observe it.
All in attendance witnessed this miracle. Later captured on videotape by an amateur photographer, this remarkable sight can be seen.
As I first saw the host, my real reaction in my head was, holy, it's red, it's real blood. You know, I realized what I had said to the Blessed Sacrament, but that was my reaction. It was quite amazing. I stood there and filmed it, I guess, for half a minute or so, and I remember it very well. He actually stopped and held it steady for me to film, and I was trying to keep myself steady. And I was trying to keep my camcorder steady because I could see the blood flowing out of the host. It was just flowing down, and then you could see it collecting in the bottom of the glass. It was the most incredible thing you could possibly imagine. Coming, you know, and you could see that it was blood. There was no mistaking it. I kept looking this way, you know, while I was filming it. I was taking my eyes away from the lens so I could see it with my eyes and going back again. And it was absolutely astounding. There was no question that this blood was just flowing out of the host.
Okay, I was on the altar. I couldn't be more than 2 feet away from it. And I saw the red dot on the host, and like a line coming off of it, dropping from gravity to down, and it was a host bleeding right there in front of me. This miracle, this happening, as far as I'm concerned, it just couldn't be fake. There's no way someone could do this. I was there. I was close to it. I saw it. I believe it so much that my own life has changed, and I have gone now, ever since that day in Betania, I go to church every day.
Go to church. Go to confession. Go to communion. Receive him. Receive his body, because that's what he wants. That's what all this is all about. I believe is just bringing everybody closer to Jesus, and he is alive.
I have always been a priest, with much devotion to the Blessed Sacrament ever since I entered the seminary. I used to wake up at 5 in the morning to adore Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament. To me, this miracle is a call to conversion, a call to Eucharistic devotion, that our faith must be Christ-centered and Eucharistic. It demonstrates to us that Jesus continues bleeding in the host because of the sins of men. He bleeds for the sins of this world, for what has taken place within this century, and above all, for the violence, hatred, and anger that is in the hearts of men.
The bleeding host was then taken to the bishop's residence and later submitted for thorough medical examinations at a leading forensic laboratory in Caracas, Venezuela, whose technical and scientific expertise is nationally recognized. The results of that investigation revealed a startling discovery. The substance excreted from the host was found to be human blood.
After having conducted sufficient investigation, first with the witnesses on the fact, and after the laboratory's investigation, it seems to me that without a doubt a miracle has occurred here in which God has manifested to us the real presence of the body and the blood of His Son, Jesus, in the Blessed Sacrament. The miracle of the bleeding host is very important here in Betania, because the message of Betania is coming closer to Jesus Christ, meeting with Jesus Christ. Therefore, the miracle is very marked in this apparition of our Blessed Mother. Our Lady does not invite us to come closer to her. She invites us to Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ, we have found Him always in the Eucharist. That is why one of the great miracles here in Betania is that so many people have come closer to Jesus in Holy Communion. One must say that a miracle is above all a sign. It is a signal which God makes visible, something which is invisible. This Eucharistic miracle makes visible to us something which for us is mysterious, to know the real presence of Jesus Christ in the consecrated host.
Today, this Eucharistic miracle resides in an ad hoc reliquary at the bishop's residence in Los Teques. In addition to the incredible manifestations being witnessed, the healing presence of Jesus reaches far beyond Betania. Like the miraculous water of Lourdes, France, accounts of healings are being attributed to the cascade that rushes below the site of Our Lady's reported visitations.
Our Lady told me that the waters would be like the waters of Lourdes and heal the sick, and that the sick would be alleviated of their pain so that they could live a more peaceful and serene life, because this was the holy fountain of Betania.
This is the first time I have been to Betania. I've come to thank Our Lady for the miracle performed for me. I was mute and half paralyzed. A friend of mine brought me water from the cascade and asked me to drink it. Within 10 hours, I was completely healed. Now, I love Our Lady even more, and I have come here to give thanks.
The fruit from this apparition abound, with many documented cures and healings being reported. People suffering from various afflictions have claimed healings from paralysis, malignant tumors, cancer, leukemia, and other life-threatening diseases, even AIDS. Dr. Vinicio Arrieta, a leading surgeon from the Hospital Clínico in Maracaibo, Venezuela, is respected by his colleagues as one of the most competent surgeons in all of Venezuela. A graduate of Harvard University, Dr. Arrieta recalls how at one time he was a prideful man who had achieved great things from a worldly point of view until one day everything collapsed. In 1987, a series of health problems led him to discover he had been stricken with terminal cancer in the prostrate and in the lower spine. Dr. Arrieta was not given long to live. Upon the encouragement of a relative, he journeyed to Betania, and there he encountered an event that would change the rest of his life.
Ya había alrededor de 5,000 personas.
There were about 5,000 people there, and the solar phenomena began in which the sun lost its light. That is to say that it was very illuminated, but yet it lost its light. The center part became green. It began to spin on the inside as if though there was a circle on the inside, and then it began to move towards us. Suddenly, I began to feel an infusion of heat within my body. I felt an infusion of healing within me. I felt that this infusion arrived at my spinal column and to my prostate. During this time, the Virgin immediately appeared above the trees and was looking toward the heavens as a real human being. In her right arm, she had the child Jesus, as if to hand him over. And in her other arm, a rosary that hung down to her knees, which was completely illuminated. Her glance was lightened up, and it arrived at my body just as it did to 500 other people who were seeing the Virgin at that moment. I knew at that moment I was cured.
Dr. Arrieta returned home and, in the weeks that followed, underwent extensive examinations by a specialized team of diagnosticians. Their final prognosis determined that an unexplainable cure had indeed taken place.
I am a professor at the School of Medicine, and I have been working in this specialty for over 22 years. My experience is not only in nuclear medicine, but also in tumors. That is why this case was especially interesting to me, particularly because of the type of sickness Dr. Arrieta was diagnosed with. After intensive examinations, my impression of this case now is that only religion could have done more for him than science, because there is no scientific explanation for what happened to him. At times, there are things that happen within the organism we call the human body that science cannot explain, and this apparently is one of those cases.
Although very little has been reported about the happenings in Venezuela, word of these incredible events are now beginning to reach the world. In addition to the special reports and local coverage by Venezuela's largest television station, Venevision, international broadcast and print agencies have also covered the story. Michael Brown, noted author and journalist, is respected worldwide for his work as an investigative reporter. Published in various international magazines, he is best known for breaking the toxic waste cover-up in the early 1970s, known as the Love Canal story. Recently, he has traveled the world investigating over 30 reported apparitions for his latest book, The Final Hour. As a result of hours of research and in-depth interviews with visionaries and mystics from around the world, he has concluded that the times we are living in are crucial. Michael shares his insights.
A few years ago, I would never have thought that I'd live to see events like those, phenomena like those that you witnessed down in Betania. I didn't think anything like that existed. It's beyond my wildest imagination. But it does exist. The phenomena does occur there. I saw it myself. And any journalist has to rely on his own observation. And then I listened to Esperanza, and I listened to what she had to say. Because this isn't just a light show. There are things that go with the phenomena, and those are messages for the entire world. What she is saying that the Virgin has conveyed and wants to convey to all of humanity is that we're approaching a very serious moment soon. That this is a time of decision for mankind. Either we go towards evil or we go towards God. We can't risk anymore, the Virgin is telling her, divine wrath. There are going to be cataclysms and major wars if mankind continues to descend into the pit of sin. So it's a tremendously urgent call to mankind to convert, to pray, to fast, to love, to have faith in God and devotion to God. And if this doesn't come about, then I personally am convinced that we're going to see some of the events we've been warned about at Betania and many other apparitional sites around the world.
As a result of the increasing worldwide exposure the events in Betania are receiving, people from around the world have come seeking healing and truth. Halina and Joe Swerlick have made a difficult pilgrimage to Finca Betania from Dearborn Heights, Michigan. They have come in search of God's will for their lives and in hope that their son may receive a cure. At the early age of 14 months, their son, Neil, suffered a cardiac respiratory arrest. During this time, his heart and lungs were stopped, depriving his brain of necessary oxygen. Revived and later placed on life support, Neil was left severely handicapped and brain damaged.
We came to Betania to ask Our Lady to intercede for our son, if it is God's will, and also to thank her for all the wonderful gifts that she and our Lord has given to my family.
And to keep us strong as a family, united. And whatever God's will be, bless Neil and watch over him.
I've always been very close to Our Lady. I've always prayed to her and to Jesus, and I just wanted to feel peace, because it's so hard as a mother to deal with something wrong with your children. And I just felt like I was very connected with her, because I understood her suffering with Jesus on the cross. And I've just been so close to her, and I've come to Betania because for more inner peace, and for Neil, then I may ask for God's grace for his healing, if that is his will. But I would never be angry, no, if I don't get a healing. I know that we're all here for some purpose, and we're chosen for different roles, you know, that God has planned for us, and all we can do is ask him to guide us and to open our hearts to whatever he wants for any of us. But I just take it one day at a time. I just leave it in God's hands, and that's all I can do. It makes me happy to see that even now that Neil still can't do a lot, even if he smiles at me, it just melts my heart, because he couldn't do anything before, not even smile at me. So I know he's happy even though he can't do much. And that makes me happy.
Today, Joe and Halina live with even greater peace as they have left Betania, accepting the will of God in their lives, yet never giving up hope. Our Lady's presence in Betania transmits a message of hope for the world. She invites us all to a renewal and deepening of our faith, a faith that should be lived out in total conversion, prayer, and apostolic commitment.
It is the message of a mother for all her children, of all ideologies, of all races, of all nations. She is calling us, imploring us, because the moment has arrived for us to wake up, for souls to awaken. Mankind must become conscious of its actions and of its responsibilities. Now is the time. It is time that man realizes why he is living. Her call is not only to Betania. It is a call heard in all parts of the world. She is appearing in the world so that together, all of us united, will form within our hearts the flame, the light, the fire of love of her divine Son, Jesus. He is knocking on the doors of our hearts through the request of his mother, that we unite and reconcile with one another and live the gospel.
little children, today in these times, He with me wishes to renew consciences, because mankind is currently abusing the graces received and is moving toward perdition. If there is no change and improvement of life, He will succumb under fire, war, and death. We want to stop the evil that suffocates you, the evil of rebellion, and overcome the darkness of oppression by the enemy. This is why again in this century, my divine Son arises, so that you will follow His steps as a shepherd of souls and obtain the alliance of peace among people and preserve your hearts as clean temples.
Throughout history, the Blessed Mother has made repeated visitations to the world, interceding on behalf of a people who have rejected God. She has come once again to remind us of God's continuing love and mercy. Like a concerned mother, she has time and time again offered her maternal love and protection. In a divided world, blinded by sin and absorbed in materialism, we are a people headed for self-destruction. But there is a place we can turn and take refuge. It is a place where we can refresh ourselves in the love and hope of a mother. It is here, from the land of grace, that Our Lady calls all her children as the reconciler of peoples and nations.
My dear, dear children, come to my motherly lap and take refuge in my heart. My heart I give to you. My heart I will always give to you, because I am your mother. I invite you, my little ones, all of you. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are from. Everyone can come to me, for you are all my children, and I love you.